we're back live.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And no one is as live as Rob Van Dam.
The following contest is the Hardcore Ladder Match for the World Wrestling Federation Hardcore Championship. Introducing first the challenger from the Alliance, weighing 230 pounds, Rob Van Dam.
SummerSlam and ladder matches go hand in hand. It was in '95 when Shawn Michaels defeated Razor Ramon in a ladder match. The '98's Brutal Bear with Triple H defeating the Rock, and including the TLC match with the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge, and Christian last year at SummerSlam. But never before have we had a hardcore championship match contested under ladder match rules.
From Cameron, North Carolina, weighing 218 pounds, the World Wrestling Federation Hardcore Champion, Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy does not have the hardcore title with him because it is hanging above the ring. And even though there are no countouts, no disqualifications, and that may be bad luck going underneath that ladder, as my old granny used to say, the only way to win this match is to use the ladder, climb it, and claim the hardcore title, which is hanging above the center of this very ring.
Well, the Alliance would like to congratulate Jeff Hardy on a fine reign as hardcore champion, because that reign is about to come to an end.
Certainly RVD has to be, at least in arguably the most popular competitor in the Alliance. At least it seems that way. So both these men are going to start this match out with a lot of fan support here in the San Jose Arena.
No doubt. Welcome to the Shark Tank. Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy, a hardcore ladder match for the WWF Hardcore title.
And again, the object will be to beat your opponent down, to weaken your opponent to the situation that you could use the ladder, climb it, and retrieve the hardcore title, which is hanging above the ring, above the center of the ring. Nice takedown by RVD, which is quickly countered by Jeff Hardy. Both these men, in my estimation, match up very well, and a nice round of applause for that particular exchange from two magnificent young athletes.
They call Reggie Jackson Mr. October. In ECW, we called Rob Van Dam Mr. Pay-Per-View. No one ever came as prepared for pay-per-view as Rob Van Dam.
And Van Dam looking to gain an advantage. Van Dam, those educated feet, love to score the knockout with his feet. Able to certainly use that ladder and climb up and retrieve the hardcore title, but he missed there. And Jeff Hardy going downstairs, that's perfectly legal. Again, you cannot have a disqualification in a ladder match. You cannot have a count out. There is no time limit. It's a hardcore championship match. And the wild card, if you will, is the ladder.
Here's the scary thing. In this particular match, pinfalls don't count. Submissions don't count. The only way to emerge the champion is to climb the ladder and retrieve the gold.
You're absolutely right. And this is the first hardcore ladder match in the history of the World Wrestling Federation. And Van Dam avoided that top rope. And Jeff Hardy elevated to the top. And hip lock. RVD hip lock from the outside, or inside to the out. And now Jeff Hardy, the springboard. Oh my God! Jeff Hardy with that springboard, putting his own body on the line, and both RVD and Jeff Hardy down. Boy, any more movement like that, this match is not going to last very long. Here's another look, Paul.
Check this out, Jeff Hardy, wham! Wiping out Rob Van Dam and wiping out himself as well.
Jeff Hardy and his brother Matt have been known as daredevils and risk takers their entire career. And Jeff again, taking a big chance that did not pay off. RVD able to avoid the contact there.
And Van Dam capitalizes on the mistake by Jeff Hardy. Rob Van Dam, RVD, looking to retrieve the hardcore title for the Alliance.
Van Dam on the right hand, the unorthodox, flexible Alliance member dropping his leg on the back of Jeff Hardy's head. Van Dam, again, amazing agility and balance here. And now Van Dam pointing up to the hardcore title hanging above the ring. And Van Dam, the first to attempt to retrieve the ladder and use it. Van Dam limping, and certainly rightfully so, as a wonder he's able to stand. The challenger, and Jeff Hardy came right off the railing, Paul, again putting his body on the line.
Well, that's smart by Jeff Hardy, because he doesn't want Van Dam to get the ladder in the ring, nor does Jeff Hardy want to give RVD the opportunity to use the ladder as a weapon.
That shot just moments ago. Now Jeff Hardy in the up position, if you will, utilizing the ladder, now bringing it to the ring for the first time. And the Van Dam, well, that is a uniquely yet effective and orthodox way of utilizing the ladder.
When it comes to physicality, no one is as resourceful as RVD.
He's very high on his abilities, and quite frankly, he has a right to be. He's a great one. Just, if you don't believe it, just ask him.
Oh, he'll tell you.
And Van Dam now may have got a page out of his own book used on him, as RVD kind of sitting astraddle that ladder. And that ain't gonna feel good tomorrow or in the next 5 minutes.
It's not feeling good right now. But Rob Van Dam is getting a chance to shake it off, because Jeff Hardy is hurting as well.
Well, of course he's hurting as well. And again, Hardy, Van Dam lying on that ladder. What's Jeff gonna do? Just springboarding his own body on Van Dam's body. And that was not the mat, it was the ladder.
Obviously, the object here is to wipe the other man out, so then, and only then, if the ladder comes into play, you go up the ladder uncontested.
Both these men are hurting. Jeff Hardy holding his anatomy there, his upper torso. Van Dam, he's got to be writhing in pain as well. Oh, look at Van Dam's flexibility, it's amazing. And Jeff Hardy. Well, Jeff Hardy just folded up Van Dam like an accordion. Let's take another look at this. Looking like some high risk. Springboard, moonsault. Anatomy, ladder. You figure it out.
Oh, I got it. The ladder wins.
No doubt about it. And never said a word. And Van Dam got an elbow up that Jeff Hardy ran right into. And so now Van Dam, well, both these guys are punishing each other and themselves, quite frankly, in the course of this matchup. Get that big advantage. And Van Dam, nowhere to go for Jeff Hardy. He's hanging upside down in a bad way.
Big advantage for Rob Van Dam, and now RVD sees the ladder, and the ladder comes into play.
Big RVD chant going up here in San Jose. But honestly, the only member of the Alliance that normally gets any cheers at these WWF events.
Other than myself, of course.
I think I was right the first time, and Van Dam scoring those right hands. Now Jeff Hardy lying in a very precarious situation and position here. That's Van Dam doing.
Anything he wants, all the way across the ring.
Van Dam got the momentum, used his own body as a weapon, as we have seen him do on so many occasions, just punishing the hardcore champion.
Check this out, RVD, Rob Van Dam, all the way across the ring, uses all of his body weight on Jeff Hardy, who is positioned on the ladder.
Van Dam looking upstairs. That's where the hardcore championship is hanging, above the center of the ring here. There you see it right there at the top of your screen. That's what these two men are fighting for. Jeff Hardy comes in as a hardcore champion. He won it from RVD in a very unorthodox fashion about a week ago, and what a reverse heel kick. That's like a knockout punch, a Tyson-like right hand.
Rob Van Dam, very proficient in the martial arts. Rob Van Dam knows how to use his entire body as a weapon.
Van Dam now measuring at Jeff Hardy. Shots it. Shoots that kick right into the face, and Jeff Hardy again. My gosh, he just can't get away from that ladder. and the young man from North Carolina, RVD, again with that unorthodox arsenal, that unorthodox attack.
Rob Van Dam's mentor was a man known as being suicidal, homicidal, and genocidal. RVD will wipe himself out to take out his opponent.
Another look at a potentially career-shortening maneuver. And both these men, you gotta wonder in the long run how this match. Another shot by Jeff Hardy, and there you see Van Dam bouncing off the concrete, holding his heart there where that ladder just rammed him. You gotta wonder over the long haul what kind of an adverse effect these matches are going to have for young men like a Rob Van Dam or a Jeff Hardy. Because just look at the impact here, and look at the face. Look right here. Van Dam's neck, his head, it was like he was in a car crash.
Well, Jeff Hardy drop kicked that ladder right into Van Dam's sternum. But Hardy has taken a beating, and he cannot capitalize as Rob Van Dam is recovering by the second.
Great opportunity here for Jeff Hardy. He's setting the ladder up with Van Dam on the outside. There's the prize, Jeff Hardy's Hardcore Championship. Van Dam staggering. Van Dam trying to get back in the ring. Van Dam climbing to the top, and so is Jeff. Jeff looking for the title, and Van Dam just took Jeff Hardy right off the ladder. Oh, what a shot that was. Unbelievable athleticism by RVD, taking Jeff Hardy off the ladder in the most physical fashion.
And now Van Dam brings back the ladder. Again, no pinfalls, no submissions, no disqualifications, no countouts. The only way to emerge hardcore champion is to climb the ladder, retrieve the gold.
This crowd here in San Jose enjoying what they're seeing in this matchup. Both men very popular. One of those situations where you know you're going to have a winner, but I think as far as some of these fans are concerned, they hate to see either man lose. And now RVD, lying again, putting that ladder on a prone Jeff Hardy. And Van Dam, his own body striking the ladder, but the impact went right into the body of Jeff Hardy. Both men are hurting.
Tremendous game plan by Rob Van Dam. Van Dam wants to make sure that Jeff Hardy is completely wiped out before Rob takes a chance at going for the gold.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We know that cage matchup, Undertaker Kane versus DDP and Canyon, tag title versus tag title still to come. It's going to be intense. It's going to be nasty. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to top this as far as this raw physicality is concerned.
Van Dam is getting close to the gold.
And then looking for the hardcore title. And Jeff Hardy with a drop kick, knocking Van Dam the ladder down. The only saving grace for Van Dam is that he landed on Hardy.
So Hardy wiped himself out to stop Van Dam from getting the title. Check this out. Off the top rope, wham! And RVD comes down on top of Hardy.
RVD landed on the legs of Jeff Hardy. And again, the hardcore title hanging high above the ring, and we're kind of back where we started as far as the ladder's concerned, Paul. The ladder down, DDT, and RVD is down.
That title hanging above the ring is like the bait here in the Shark Tank.
Jeff Hardy reaching down to take yet another chance. Jeff looking for the swanton, but he did not find it.
Great presence of mind by Rob Van Dam to get out of the way, and now is Van Dam's chance to put away Jeff Hardy.
And you just gotta wonder what kind of pain these men are experiencing at this point in time in their life. And RVD looking for the 5-star drop splash, but not today, as Jeff Hardy had it well scouted and able to avoid that contact.
In my opinion, the first man to his feet here will have a clear advantage, and that man is Jeff Hardy.
Jeff Hardy barely able to stand. Same goes for RVD. RVD is down, however, and Hardy looking to climb that ladder and end this thing. And now Van Dam on the other side. And Jeff Hardy, fingertips, just touching his title. Van Dam now climbing the ladder as well. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, it's not a joke. That is a suplex from the top.
The face lock, the suplex, the broken bodies from the ladder. Oh my God. And remember, there can be no count out. There's no way to stop this match.
Check this out, Jeff Hardy with a front entry. Rob Van Dam taking Jeff Hardy down.
Now from up high.
Look at this, the belt hanging in the balance, and Rob Van Dam suplexing Jeff Hardy from the top of the ladder.
Jeff Hardy, man, he's not motionless, but Jeff Hardy now, he's stirring. Van Dam going up the ladder. Van Dam's got to go another run or two to be able to reach that hardcore title. Jeff Hardy in Van Dam's face, hitting Van Dam with everything that's left. Another right hand by Jeff Hardy. And the hardcore champion, Gallows, trying to retain his championship. Oh, for God's sakes, the biggest sunset flip in captivity. Turned into almost a powerbomb from the sunset flip position. And the air, you almost can see the air driving out the anatomy of both these men.
Phenomenal move by Jeff Hardy. Oh, what in the world? He drives RVD hard down into the canvas.
Van Dam's spine, his upper back smacking the canvas here in San Jose at SummerSlam. And that's what it's all about for these two men, the WWF Hardcore title. I don't know how many more chances that these two can take and survive. Jeff on top. Jeff Hardy can win it here. Just got his belt. Just got his belt. And wait a minute, Van Dam moving the ladder. Jeff Hardy hanging. He's hanging. He can't get the belt. He's hanging on for dear life. It's Jeff Hardy. Van Dam trying to pull Jeff Hardy down and off and out. Oh my God. Jeff was teetering over the concrete.
Van Dam!
Van Dam looking for it all there. Jeff Hardy couldn't hold on any longer. Van Dam was going for it all on that spinning kick, trying to catch Jeff Hardy swinging and teetering.
But still, Jeff Hardy was off balance and could not retrieve the title. And Jeff Hardy, to me, seems desperate to get away from Van Dam and end this match.
I'm sure both men would like to end this match, and it may end here and now. The belt is swinging back and forth. Jeff Hardy within inches of his title. Wait a minute. Oh my God, Jeff Hardy's leg caught up in the air, and that drove his back and neck and shoulders right into the canvas.
Van Dam's coming up.
Van Dam with a clear shot to climb to the top of the ladder and retrieve the hardcore title. He's almost got it. Does Van Dam. And he does.
The winner of this bout and new World Wrestling Federation Hardcore Champion, Rob Van Dam.
Well, I told you that the Alliance wanted back the hardcore title, and Rob Van Dam brings the gold and the score back to the Alliance.
Jeff Hardy, after his neck and shoulder hit the ring, Jeff's feet were above his head, and Jeff folded himself up like the old accordion. It gave Van Dam the opportunity to climb up the ladder. Van Dam, the winner here in a hellacious first ever ladder match for the hardcore title. Jeff Hardy looking out the corner of his eye to see if Van Dam is moving or perhaps as sore as Jeff is, and I would say the answer is hell yes.
A heavy price paid by both men